What is going on, my people of the planet? I am D Venom, and welcome to another episode of Raising Vibrations podcast. All right, you guys. I explained a situation that has me feeling a tinge low vibrational on my YouTube platform playlist. They live amongst us, but who are they? Which is dedicated to drug addiction and the functioning addicts. I really don't want to get into it here because I have something else that I want to tell you guys that happened after the concert, after the Janet Jackson concert. I foreshadowed this on another episode, but I don't think you guys heard that particular episode because I've seen 0 downloads. So you have to listen to that particular episode in order to get where I'm 644, in order to get where I'm coming from in regard to this particular story. But anyway, just to give the premise of what I told my YouTube family just now, I had a roommate, and that roommate moved out for various reasons. But long story short, I was invited to their mom's house, and I was under the influence of methamphetamine and showed signs of irritability and things like that. And but all in all, I reached out to the mother today, and I tried to apologize via text message and phone call, and my text message was ignored and my phone call was ignored. And I took it upon myself to leave a nice message, and I even offered via text message to my ex-roommate and the mom my EBT card. If I had money, I would have gave, not that I broke anything, you guys, I didn't break anything. I do recall, throwing some cards down on the table because I was frustrated about, I explained all of that on my YouTube platform. So just watch the video, and it explains everything. But all in all, I allowed methamphetamine to destroy a relationship or relationships, because ever since then, people whom are attached to my ex-roommate's side of the family or whatever have been acting, I don't know, a little distant and whatever the case may be. And that's fine. Not everyone is going to be a part of my walk, and I'm not going to be a part of everyone else's walk that are involved in my life like that. And not every friendship is going to last, regardless if it's due to my actions or due to their actions, reasons, seasons, lifetimes. And I was hoping for a lifetime in regard to a lot of these people, places, and or things. But in a nutshell, it's just time for me to pretty much move on and worry about my own life. I do understand that I allowed about a good month hiatus to enter before I reached out to the mom to apologize. I wanted some time for things to simmer down. I didn't want the mom to forget my actions, not at all. But I wanted things to simmer down in the event people were in their feelings about my behavior that night. And I wanted some time to spend with me so that I can shadow work on myself and figure out some things in regard to me and my life and my spirituality and, all of that stuff. So I didn't reach out the following day or a week afterwards. I allowed a month to surpass. Plus, I wanted to do my bills, see if I had some money, to give this person, which I'm not strapped, but I am. If I come off of how much money I said I was going to come off of and to give to this person, it would put me in a bind. So I'm trying to hold on to as much of my savings as I possibly can until I can find another job. So what I was going to do was something illegal, and that was give up my EBT card and, put some groceries in this person's house. Not that they needed me to do that, because trust me, their house is nice and they have nice things in there and they can afford their own groceries. But as another form of an apology, I was going to do this. But as I mentioned, my phone call or text message was not reciprocated. And, I guess that's fine. It was because of my behavior. This is the reason why things have turned out the way that they have. My ex-roommate hit me up because I was telling them about the EBT scenario, and they thought that was a nice thing for me to do. And they said that they miss me, so they possibly may miss me or they may not. I'm not sure. But they used to do my hair, and I reached out to them in regard to my hair, and they didn't say anything about that because I asked about their schedule, and they failed to answer that question. But they pretty much answered my other questions that I had, that I sent to them via text message. So I don't know, you guys. I guess I just pretty much fucked up, and so I'm feeling a little bit low vibrational in regards to that scenario. If you guys want to know what I did, like I said, go to my YouTube platform and go to They Live Amongst Us playlist, and there is the latest video, and I explain everything. So anyway, after the Janet Jackson concert, I made a very impetuous decision to take a ride, and the ride wasn't the impetuous part about it. It was the fact that I took a ride in my normal areas where I would go look for scallywags and or drugs or whatever else, and I turned in this particular parking lot where there, it's pretty much known for scallywags and people doing drugs and shit. And I seen some people, pretty much standing around, and they were smoking whatever they were smoking with the aluminum foil and shit, probably fentanyl, nodding off or whatever. And I felt like that would be the perfect opportunity for me to score some sex and whatever else. So I drove home and got what little bit of shit that I had, and my utensil, and I went back to that particular spot, and I got out of my vehicle, and I sat there and just pretty much watched them nod off, for about who knows how long, before I started to venture off after one of them came to, so to speak, and I had a conversation with them about where could I score, some methamphetamine, which I already know where to get it, if I want to get it, but that's just a part of my game. Where can I score some stuff just to start a conversation with a motherfucker and see where I can get in regard to possibly sleeping with them or not. Anyway, I remember after I had a conversation with one of them, they kept nodding off and shit. So I'm just like, let me get up and let me cross the street, because I'm walking at this particular point. I left my car and I decided to walk. So I walked across the street to this particular area where there's a well-known gas station and people out there doing drugs and whatever else the case may be. Anyway, I recall that there was a guy that was looking for something in the parking lot area, and I was going to go two different ways, but I decided to remain going straight, and I decided to turn in the parking lot where the guy was looking for something. Now, I guess I would have been like the guy too, me being tall as I am and they're looking for something. I could have been coming over there to look and see what they were looking for and possibly take it. And I did not realize that this was a guy that I guess I pulled up on several of occasions, trying to work and, under the influence and get dick from. So anyway, they were walking, pretty fast to, I guess, get away from me. And I was, still walking a couple of feet behind them in regard to, trying to see who they were and who was around the corner. So I peep around the corner and I see a group of individuals around there. So I'm like, well, let me go on about my business and go elsewhere. So that's what I did. So I crossed back over the street. Well, I was getting ready to, I turned my back and I started walking away from the crowd. But before I did that, I guess the dude had told them that I was an individual that, I guess be riding up on them, on several of occasions or whatever. And, I guess they were scared or whatever. I mean, I assumed that I made them nervous. And anyway, I was asked to stop, so they could see who I am. So I did this. I stopped and I addressed them. And we had a brief conversation, and they were telling me that dude was telling them that I, always roll up on him, and, he don't know what that's about, but he want me to basically leave him alone. And I'm like, I don't know who this person is. And I went on to ask, well, is he nervous or something? And so one of the other guys that was a part of the group was like, well, he probably is nervous, because, drugs have made me nervous. Not saying that this person was under the influence of anything, but, me coming into the parking lot while he was, looking for something or whatever was pretty much a very, not so smart move. But on the same token, I wasn't looking for anything that he was looking for. I was basically looking for what they had between their legs, but still, that's beyond the point. You still don't approach no one, not knowing what element they're in and whatever else the case may be. And I just said the other day that I said on my other episode that I have an affinity for the dark. Well, that has changed since that particular night. Anyway, I recall them asking me some more questions, and they asked me like, who was I looking for? So I gave a bogus name and I said I was looking for that particular person and I was trying to score something. And they was like, well, what you trying to score? So I'm assuming that they either thought I was a cop or something of that nature. And I'm just like, I'm trying to score, methamphetamine. I had my pipe in my pocket and everything. And I'm just like, I'm trying to score methamphetamine. And they were like, so one of the dudes, was just like, basically let it be, and let it go. But the other guys that was a part of the group, they wanted to keep pushing the issue. So I got a tinge smart, and I was just like, y'all don't know me like that, which they don't. I was being honest. I wasn't being, I get it. I'm amongst who knows, probably some gangbangers or whatever that think they own the block and whatever the case may be, and I challenged them. And I pretty much told them that they don't know who the fuck I am, which they don't, because I'm not out there like that. Like, I don't want to say like they are, but I'm just not out there like that. But anyway, under the influence, I probably did approach that guy and just did not know who he was. And probably done this on several of occasions while I was in that area. And, I probably did scare them or whatever and made them nervous. But anyway, that, long story short, I addressed them, and after I said, y'all don't know me like that, one of the other guys said, no, we don't know you like that, blah, blah, blah. So I guess I had offended them by me getting smart. And the smartness I could have kept, and, a lot of the other ways that I answered them, I could have kept. But I guess it was one of those prison type of things, this is the streets and motherfuckers will challenge you. And even though I'm out there by myself, I need to appear like I'm not a punk or whatever the case may be. So that's why I got a tinge smart and stood in my power and, kind of challenged them. Anyway, something told me it's time for me to leave. So I said, well, I was looking for methamphetamine, but never mind. I don't want it now. So I turned my back and I started walking away. Now, they could have easily jumped me then or whatever, but, they didn't. I heard their voices away from me. So they weren't close to me. They were away from me, but I kept hearing different things like, I can't really specify what I heard at that point, but when I was getting closer to my car, I heard, yeah, homeboy, wait, what did I want to say what they said verbatim. Hold on. Paraphrasing, they basically said, yeah, homeboy, you about to get your ass kicked. And I kept hearing the voices getting closer to me. So where I was sitting at before I decided to cross the street, one of the individuals had woke up from doing whatever drug they were doing. And they were like, hey, do you have some clear? It's basically some methamphetamine. And I pretty much ignored them, and my gut feeling and my intuition and my everything just told me that I better get my ass in this motherfucking car and take the fuck off, because there was somebody on a bike that was approaching me a little by little, and I'm not sure if they had a stick on them or what, but I got in my car, I started that bitch, and I took off. I don't know if they got my license plates, but I'm very familiar. I am a tall, American African, because I was born in the U.S. I'm not born in Africa. American African, male with a mohawk that is a specific color, and I wear glasses, and I drive a specific car, and whatever else. So it's not hard to point me out somewhere. I have not been in that area. I have to drive through there earlier today because I went to go take care of some business. But I have not been in that area since. And I don't plan on going back to that area, because who knows how word travels. And who's to say if they put my description of not only myself, but my car as well out there for people to keep an eye on, so that they can harm me. And if I do get harmed, which I'm sure I won't, because I'm spiritually and universally guided, but I will say that the universe will allow some things to happen to me if I continue on, because the universe has put me in situations where I had to learn a lesson, and those lessons were some hard lessons. So I think that this is an eye-opener for myself, that it is time to get this shit together in regard to my life, my spirituality, this drug, and all of this stuff. Because I could not be sitting in my car right now addressing you guys, and a lot could have been worse. I could be alive, but I could be in the hospital missing teeth and some of everything else, because I got beat down because I made some impetuous choices, some not so smart decisions. And yeah, I have to get this together, you guys, because things could be a lot worse. So I wanted to share that with you guys. This is why I said live each moment like it is your last, because you just never know when it could be your last. So my people of addiction, please listen to me. And I'm bipolar and ADHD on top of that, so I deal with mania. So when I'm going through mania, I definitely make some irrational decisions or irrational decisions that could put me in harm's way. And I don't like that, and I really don't take my medication like I should. So I need to get on board in regard to my medications. I need to find therapy. I just need to do a lot of things that are beneficial to my life and not harmful to my life. So people of addiction, come on, you guys, we have to get this together. If not for ourselves, at least for our loved ones, and mainly for our damn selves, because we are important as well. So anyway, I'm going to end this content. I just wanted to share that with you guys. My night was fine. I was getting all type of compliments in regard to my hair at the concert, and I felt very empowered, and I felt very aligned with the universe. And I felt great. And then to ruin all of that whole experience, because I wanted to basically go search for dick and methamphetamine. No, this has to end. So anyway, you guys, I haven't heard anything in regard to my MRI yet. I reached out to the doctor, and I guess they had closed early that particular day that I reached out. So I have to reach back out sometime next week, and see if they got the MRI results and go from there. And I will let you guys know what they want to proceed on doing in regard to my upcoming surgeries, even if they decide to do that. But anyway, I'm going to end this content, and thank you guys for listening. Please, those of you whom aren't a part of addiction, pray for us individuals whom are a part of the Matrix, and give us your spiritual hugs and let us know that all will be okay, because it will be. All right, you guys, I am going to end this content, and I am going to probably do a ASMR video to increase my vibrations, considering the things that I put myself through, and losing some valuable relationships and things of that particular nature. So I need to do things to increase my vibrations and not take away from them. And I need to do some more research in regard to my Podbean podcast, and see if I can incorporate music as well. One last thing is, even though I don't have a job, I still have a bit of my savings left, and I have enough savings left to get me through another month here on my podcast platform. So I'm happy about that. So I'll be with you guys for another good month. Thank the Lord. All right, you guys, you have a good one. This is D Venom, and this is Raising Vibrations Podcast.